Dear my community, we set our own standards. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning to my channel, Edification with Jamia. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you and thank you for coming, and I hope you stay long. And if you're not new here, hey, welcome back. I appreciate you all. And today I want to talk about how we set our own standards and how we should be representatives of the Black community individually. So when we're seen, we are the best representation that we can be in that moment in time with the knowledge that we have. All right, so let's get into it. So, backstory. This video has evolved from telling Black women we are our own beauty standard to the Black community. We set our own standards. So, it's going to have two aspects. It's going to have the beauty aspect, and it's going to have the self-efficacy aspect, all right? So, I'm coming here today to make this video because we as a community do not understand that we set our own standards and that we need to act as such so that we can be the best representatives that we can, and the not only representative, but the best version of ourselves that we can be. Because ultimately, we are a community. Yes, we are individuals, but we make up a bigger picture, which is a race, okay? So, we have to understand and realize that we are not like any other race on this planet, just as any other race on this planet are not like us. Yes, we are humans and we share the same functions and such, but we come from a different history. We come from a different ancestry. So our story is unique to us, and we have to continue to carry out our story in the best way possible. So we have to be aware of who we are, where we come from, and have a goal and a mission as to where we're trying to go. So I'm going to put this out here. There's this term called cooperative economics. Cooperative economics is the practice of the autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned, democratically controlled enterprise. We don't have to do this as a democratically controlled enterprise. We can just do this as a community. So our ultimate goal is to unite and to work together as a team so that we can live our best lives and have the best future for our children, so that not only for our children, for ourselves as well, so that we can live a life that's fulfilling and worthwhile, okay? So, back to us setting our own standards. We must stop comparing ourselves to others because there isn't any comparison, okay? We must understand that we control our narrative, and we cannot look outside of ourselves to compare ourselves to other people, because that takes away from the ultimate goal, which is for us to live a fulfilling life, okay? So, we must also appreciate and uplift one another in order to carry out our dreams and excuse me, come together as a community. If you see your brother or sister starting up a business or having this great idea and they're stepping out of their comfort zone to make it happen, we should support them and uplift them, because we all been in a position where we watch someone have all the optimism in the world and fail due to the lack of support. We can't continue to do that because we are all we have. Yes, we can have support from other people, but we need to have the support of ourselves, because when stuff hits the ceiling, which it will again in the future, we need to be there for each other so that we can make sure we survive. Okay? We must find comfort in one another so we don't go outside of ourselves for validation. This goes back to understanding that we are unique and we share a story, okay? We share a story that we come from. So we should not look for validation from other people outside of ourselves because they don't understand where we come from personally like we do. So we need to embrace our story and each other so we can uplift one another and grow personally and as a community. Because if we're thinking individually, we're not going to get to where we want to be. And in our society, it is created for us to think individually and not collectively so that we can be controlled and conquered. But we're way past that point of knowing what the opposition is trying to do to us. Now we have to act on it and make sure that we aren't in a position where we are being controlled and conquered still, okay? So we got to come together and not think individualistically, but we need to think collectively, okay? We have social media where we can communicate, okay? We communicate with each other all the time. So we need to do it in a healthy and positive way so that we can do things constructively, all right? Okay, so now on to self-efficacy. So self-efficacy is the ability to carry out our goals and ambitions, okay? And I can give you a book definition. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a person's belief in their ability to succeed in a particular situation. It is a personal judgment of how well or poorly a person is able to cope with a given situation based on the skills they have and the circumstances they face. All right, so we have to work on our self-efficacy individually so that we can take our abilities that we have and utilize them for a greater purpose, okay? So a good reason to support a Black business is to create capital within the Black community so that we can have our own institutions, so we can work for our own institutions, so that we can have investments in our own institutions, so that we can create opportunities for ourselves, okay? So if you currently have skills and you're not confident in them, work on them individually so that they can be better, so that you can be an asset to the community in a way that you would like to be an asset to the community. It's time for action. We can't keep just sitting around waiting for something to happen because the government's going to give us something to do. You know what I'm saying? But it may not be what we want to do and not on our time. So we got to be on our own time and create opportunities for ourselves, okay? And with creating opportunities for ourselves, we have to support each other in the vision, okay? Because without the support, there is not a vision. It's still a vision, but it's not coming to reality. So we have to put support behind a vision so that it can become a reality. All right? Okay. Now, we must nurture our mental health by getting adequate amount of rest, along with being compassionate with ourselves and each other. So, like I said, we set our own standards. And we all know this because it is just known. And we all acknowledge it in different ways, but we all know that we're acknowledging it. For instance, let's say, I don't even want to use anybody as an example. You understand what I'm trying to say. We set our own standards and we abide by those religiously. Okay, we'd be like, oh, Black people don't do that. That's the standard that we set. You know what I'm saying? So we all know what we do and what we don't do. So it's time to set better and healthy standards for us to achieve so that we can live a happy and healthy life all overall, okay, as a community. So we have to be compassionate with ourselves and nurture ourselves and take care of our mental health, because without our mental health, we will not be able to get to the destinations that we desire. Because I know we all have individual goals, okay? And we all deserve the right to complete them and achieve them. So before we can do this, we got to take care of ourselves mentally, which is getting that correct amount of rest, eating healthy, talking to yourself correctly, not being so hard on yourself, and choosing the right people to have around you. Make sure they're uplifting you and not talking down on you, okay? All right. And then this is a great one. This is a great one right here. So take the time out to create your own mission statement, personal vision, and write down your long-term goals, and then afterwards break down each objective so that you have a roadmap on where you want to go in life. Okay? So as a collective, we need to come up with our own mission statement, okay? But personally, we can go ahead and create our own personal vision and our own personal mission. Okay? Mission statement, excuse me. So, I'll give you an example. My mission statement is to live a life of love, peace, and happiness while teaching others how to protect their autonomy through morals, ethics, and healthy practices. All right? And then my personal vision is just something for me personally that I want to live. Okay? So, drop down in the comments below what your mission statement is. And also, I'll go ahead and give you a definition of a mission statement so that you can develop yours, okay? And this is ultimately what helps you be the best version of yourself, because you have a mission in mind. It's kind of like your purpose, but you're putting your purpose into a statement. So you can remind yourself of this statement so that you can act on it each and every day. Write it down, print it out, post it on your wall, create it as your wallpaper. So when you wake up, you see this and you're reminded of why you're still here, what you're sought after, what your purpose is, and how you're going to act on it. And that's when I mentioned the writing down of your long-term goals and then breaking it down. So you got your mission statement, you have your personal vision, and then you're going to break down how you're going to accomplish your mission statement, okay? It may take time, but as long as you're going after it and you're actually putting in the effort to create it, that's all that matters, and actually working towards it, okay? A mission statement is a brief description of the overarching meaning of a company, profit, or a personal... What? A mission statement is a brief description of the overarching meaning of a company, a nonprofit, or a being. I put a being in there because you can have a personal mission statement. It is a short statement that defines what a company does and what purpose it serves. All right, a mission statement does not explain what a company does or how it does it, but attempts to succinctly explain why a company exists and what its purpose is. Okay? All right. So, I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope it was uplifting and encouraging, and I hope it made your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a blessed one, and I hope you all develop your own mission statements and leave it down below. And keep in mind that we set our own standards, so we have to be our own representatives of those standards that we have. Okay, we got to develop new standards, healthy standards for us all to achieve, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found this video edifying. If you did, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Love, peace, and happiness. Love, peace, and positivity.